Hey everyone, I hope everybody's doing well. Today in this tutorial we'll be doing something like a pumpkin skull that has literally been on trend on Instagram, so I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon and create one of my own. So I'm just popping in my Solartica lenses and I'll leave every single detail in the description bar below. If you use the code NAT14 at the checkouts, you'll receive a little discount. And now I'm going in through and putting on my pore eraser from Maybelline Baby Skin pore eraser, I think it was. And then I'll be going ahead and popping on my favorite at the moment. I used to love this stuff. It's the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm, and this was on trend maybe a year ago actually. And then going in with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in Desert Sand, I think, and just blending that in with my beauty blender from Kmart that is extremely dirty that I need to like throw out, to be honest. And then just grabbing a spoolie and what's that word? Brushing out my eyebrows and then drawing them in or filling them in with the Benefit Ka-Brow in the shade 5. And then going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and just putting that on one side of my face, obviously, carving it out in a triangular sort of deformed triangular motion, and then carving out my brows as well, then blending that in with my disgusting beauty blender. And then now we're just going to go and contour, or no, we're going to bake half of the face, okay? So we're going in with our Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette, and I'm using that banana shade over my eyes and underneath my eyes, and then setting my face with my Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder Foundation. Then using that contouring shade and just contouring and carving out the cheekbones and the hollows of my cheeks on one side of the face. And the same jazz with my forehead as well, and my double chin. And then using my Rimmel London Natural Bronzer Waterproof Bronzing Powder, I'm just going to go over that and warm up that face, the beauty side of this. And then go ahead and using my NARS Super Orgasm Blush and just blushing up my face. I love this blush, it's just honestly to die for. Then using my Essence Glow Like a Mermaid highlighter, I'm just going to pop on my highlight and get my glow going on. And then using my Essence Brow Powder, using that dark shade to fill in that little front area and my little arch. Then grabbing my Morphe 350 palette and using that white base shade, the very first shade, as the base of my eyeshadow, and then going ahead with that orange tinge and using that in the crease. And then over the top of that, I'm using this red shade over here and going into my crease and bringing that up with whatever's left on the brush. And then again with the same brush, using that dark chocolate brown, bit more chocolate, ash brown shade, using that in the outer corner and just focusing this in the outer corner and slightly bringing it in. Then using my BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette, and I'm using this really oh my god, I can't speak today, really pigmented yellow shade, and just popping that on a flat top brush and popping this into my inner corner and blending it out with that blending brush that we were using. And then I've decided to go in and blend it out a bit more, and then using my 214 smudger brush, I'm grabbing that red tinged sort of shade and then using that in my lower lash line. Then grabbing this Essence eyebrow pencil and just carving out where I'm going to sort of end and begin my pumpkin skull. And then I go ahead and carve out my entire face, and then go ahead and carve out like sort of like little veins, if that makes sense. Not veins, but like, I don't know how to explain that, but you guys will see it anyway. And then I go ahead and then define my pumpkin detailing, if that's what you call it. And using my Maybelline Hyper Sharp Wing Liner, I then go ahead and carve out that circle area of my skull eye. Now this part was an epic fail because this face paint in particular did not dry matte, and it was just a massive fail. I tried to set it down with black eyeshadow, but don't do this if you have any face paint. If you've got the global face paint or like the Makeup Forever cream face paint, yeah, go ahead and use that, but do not use just any face paint that comes to your hand, because this did not dry matte and this was just, it was horrible. But I go ahead and I fill it in with the face paint anyway. And then over here, thank God I decided to use my Maybelline Hyper Sharp for my nose, because it would have been a complete mess and I would have just ended the tutorial there and then. But I go ahead and use my wing liner for a skull nose look and fill that in with eyeliner. And then I go ahead and draw out the outline of my teeth for the skull. And I did this a bit too far off towards the sides of the mouth, so I fixed that up off camera later on. Like I said, because the eye was like too shiny, as you guys can see, I used a black eyeshadow from the Napoleon Purtis neutral palette, I think it was. Just a matte black, any matte black eyeshadow to sort of mattify that down. And I also used this on a flat top brush to sort of smudge out the teeth effect, or like the skull effect, if that makes sense. Then, as you guys can see, obviously I'm mattifying it down with the black eyeshadow, but I go out, I can't talk today. I go out and I sort of smudge out the shadow in my eye with a flat top brush, and then I use a blending brush, and then again a flat top brush. So I just sort of like smoke it out so it gives it that depth. And then just using these two shades, I go out and I smokify, if that makes sense. I smokify this look, and I also start incorporating the orange and the sort of yellowish tinge towards the pumpkin and the areas that need that sort of pumpkin-ish look. By the way, Abby's playing with her toys. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear her, but she's like digging and everything as well. Okay, so now I go ahead and I use that sort of ashy brown shade, and using a liner brush or a flat top brush, whatever you guys want to use, as long as it's got sort of a flat end to it, if that makes sense. I go ahead and I re-sculpt the pumpkin dents, and then I smudge that out with my blending brush as well. Just remember to use the brown and the black with the flat top brush and the blending brush, just to carve out and create a contour shade, and also give it a bit of dimension in every single edge and angle there is to this look, to create it to be more pumpkin-y in a way. I can't talk today. Anyway, so using the Sephora black eyeliner, I go ahead and I fill my waterline just to sort of, what's that word? Camouflage it, if you will. And then I go ahead and I add more black eyeshadow because it just was not mattifying up. Lucky me, I had an extra just one lash, so I went ahead and I popped that on, and then I put on my lipstick onto the human side, which is the Australia's Girl Boss Liquid Lippy in the shade Admire. And then I add just any mascara you guys have just to blend that out, and that's it there for the complete makeup tutorial, or Halloween makeup tutorial. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a like, don't forget to share it with your friends and family, and also don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be uploading every 2 to 3 days within this Halloween month, and other than that, 3 to 4 days otherwise. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.